Hey everyone, how you doing? Well, happy 2014. I know we're, 6 days into it, but I've had a lot of stuff that I've been doing, so I thought whilst I was doing it, I'd stay away from the internet and doing things. But anyway, I've got my Macs open, thought while I'm wishing you a happy new year for 2014, although you may be watching this a bit further down the road and thinking, why is he wishing me a happy 2014? That was the year that the cat people took over. I thought I'd show you some tricks and tips in 3ds Max that you might find useful. So here's a couple of simple little things as a welcome to 2014 thing. Now, I haven't covered particles in a while, and particles are lush. I love particles. So I'm just going to make myself a PF source and just drag it out here. And particle flow source, PF source, is basically the root of all your particly goodness. Now, I'm pressing A and E and just turning this around here so it's facing upwards, because it'll automatically face away from the direction we made it in. And if I just hit, let me see, / you can see, look, it's made some particles, and it makes them from about 0 to 30. Okay, that's it. So we've made a particle system, and if you render it by mashing F9, you will see all them boxes there. Okay, it's all animated, some beautiful boxes. Now, I'm going to show you a very simple thing that we can do with particle flow to just make balls bounce, okay, which is as funny as it sounds. So first of all, I need to make some things for the balls to bounce on. So I'm going to make a simple staircase. And this is that staircase, okay? Right click, convert to editable poly, and I'm going to call this stairs. By the way, you can probably hear numerous people will shout and talk in the background. Now I'm just going to put a couple of little things in like that, and then if I grab these two polys here and extrude, and then this one poly here and extrude, and as you see we have a simple staircase. Now what I would like to do is just take this particle system here, okay, and I'm going to go into my top view, drag it over here, and I would like to have my balls, such a funny tutorial already, have my balls shoot out from the side here, and who wouldn't? So there we go. So put that there. Now we can get started. So what I'm going to do now is just press 6, and that will open up a window that may have confused a lot of people, or other people may be very, very used to it. And this is our particle flow, particle view window, and this allows us to do all our stuff we need to. So this is our event, and I'm going to rename it balls shoot out, because that's what they're going to do. So we have a birth operator. Okay, without the birth there ain't going to be none of these. So if you look, I can turn it off, no particles, turn it on, particles. Position icon, so these are positioned on the icon and they're coming out over its entire volume. I could also make it just the edges, or I could make it, the very pivot so they come out of the line, or anything. But I think volume will do for the minute. I quite like that. The speed, well, you can see how fast they're coming at the minute, which is pretty fast. If I change the speed to around about 150, okay, the speed's not really that important because we're going to let gravity take its course in a few minutes. And as for rotation, random 3D is fine. For the shape, I want a 3D shape, and I fancy an 80-sided sphere. And then under display, I'm going to have geometry. Okay, and now you can see all the balls. Now, there's too many. So let's change the birth. First things first, if you see render here, visibility is 100%. If we're doing a complicated scene, I can change that down to 50% or anything else I fancy, and it'll hide some of our particles. In this case though, I don't want that, so 100. And if I actually click on our particle flow source as well, you can see in the viewport we've only got 50. I want to see 100 of them, so 100%. And then under my birth, for an amount, I'm only going to produce 50 in total, and I'm going to produce them until round about frame 60. At the end of which I'm going to stop. Okay, so there's our initial lovely balls. Right. Now, what I want to do is make some gravity, because these are not affected by gravity at the moment. So if I just go over here to my create panel, and then I can go to space warps, and there's some gravity. And if I just drag it out here on the ground plane, see the arrows pointing downwards? Strength of 1, decay of 0 is fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this here, which is a force, and I'm going to put my force just here after speed. Okay, and click on it. And now it will allow me to add my space warp. So if I click add, you'll see now the balls, when they're coming out, just kind of drop out like that. Okay? Boing. So, you know, go straight to it though, straight to the floor, nothing there. Well, that's well and good, but we need to add a little bit more than that. So let's make something else as well. Now, if I go here to my deflectors, we can now add a deflection system, and I'm going to add a U deflector. And that is an object-based deflection system. And I'm going to pick my object, and it's going to be this. So if I now scrub my animation, watch. No different. That's because particle flow doesn't know to use it. Well, that's okay. We can do that too. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to make a collision test. So when it collides, and I'll just put this here. Okay, we can add our deflector, and anything that this deflector is in control of now cause it to bounce, as you can see. It'll only allow it to bounce like that, you see, but it causes it to bounce, which is good. But what we can also do, if we go over here and select this now, and go over here to our panel, we can change the amount of bounce that we get to maybe 0.65. But we can put a variation in percent in here as well, perhaps 0.1, so some are going to bounce higher than others, or 10% or anything like that. We can also add perhaps 5% chaos to this, and maybe a little bit of friction too, because everything has friction. And now let's have a look. Boing, boing, boing. Okay, and now they're bouncing down the stairs. So that is a very quick and very easy to do particle system. Now, something you may have noticed, right? If you look, we have a bit of ghosting here, because the problem is the balls are actually soaking into our staircase. Now, there's a couple of ways that we can get around this actually happening, but one of them is basically to make an invisible staircase. So what I'm going to do is go to my left viewport here, and I'm just going to move this off screen, and I'm going to move this up, and you'll notice everything will move up while I'm doing it. There we go. And then I'm going to make a copy of it by just holding Shift and dragging it, like so. And now I can take this one and go to my object properties, or just click hide even, and it won't be there anymore. So now if we just resume it, all you have to do is hide the top one, and the particles will bounce off the second one. It's a very quick and dirty solution, but it's an easy way to get you started to use particles. And that's as easy as it gets, really. And your very first particle scene. So again, have a great 2014. Enjoy this nice little introduction to particles. I want to post up a couple of pictures so I can see what you've been doing. And see you next tutorial. Bye bye for now.